Brown Boy Wonder podcast.
Welcome to the second annual spooky edition of the Brown Boy Wonder podcast. Since it's spooky season,
hang on, let me stop you right there. Because last year, famously, it wasn't the Wilhelm scream.
Right.
It was just some scream.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to listen back to this and see what you put in.
Well, I just let me know, because since it's the spooky season, my guest and I are going to rewatch the Conjuring Universe in this month of October.
Spooky, all the movies.
All of them. My guest needs no introduction. You should know him from last year, where we did our Saw series. If you guys haven't checked that out, please check that out. That was a lot of fun and a lot of sawing. But we have Skyler. Skyler, how are you doing today, man?
Doing great. I'm doing spooky. I'm here all the time, but it's different because it's Halloween season. The best time of the year, probably, for some people, including myself.
Yes. Well, the leaves are turning orange. It's getting a little windy. It's getting a little cooler.
Ooh,
I like it. But I do have a.
It's getting a lot spookier.
Yes, it's so much spookiness. I had to hide. But
exactly, of course.
But I have a question for you, man. Like right. Last year.
I'm ready.
It's not the same question from last year, but I have a new question for you.
I don't remember the question from last year, but hit me this time.
Do you want to play hide and clap with me?
Oh, no. because listen, all right, now I remember the question from last year. It was, do I want to play a game?
Yeah.
And I don't remember what I said. Probably no, because that means you're in a saw trap and that's bad. But here in 2024, the movie came out, first Conjuring movie came out in 2013, and it's set in the late 1960s, or no, early 70s, right? Because the next one is in the 60s.
Yes.
I'm just saying, in 2024, hide and clap sounds a little bit more. Don't say that. that's I don't like that.
Oh, now it's a whole different meaning. Hide and clap. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. No, thank you. No, I don't want to play that.
No, let's not play that. But I guess we have to do it for this episode.
All right, just one time.
Today's episode, we are watching the first Conjuring movie, which was, as you said, released in 2013, directed by the iconic himself, James Wan. It was written by Chad Hayes and Carrie Hayes. Are they brothers?
I don't know. Are they? Turns out we do a lot of James Wan on this podcast, huh? Because Saw last year.
Yeah, I noticed that. I mean, James Wan knows how to do horror.
I guess we like his horror.
Yeah. Well, let's get into the cast here, guys. We got Vera Farmiga as Lorraine Warren, Patrick Wilson as Ed Warren, Lily Taylor as Caroline.
I don't remember if I offered this last year. Do you want me to read some of these?
Or
do you want to just go for it?
I'll go for now. For the next one, you'll read the cast.
All right. Well, for what I will say is I looked it up, and Chad Hayes and Carrie Hayes are not only brothers. It's spookier. They're twin brothers.
Oh, just like the Shining movie, those twins.
Ooh.
Oh my goodness.
Spooky.
Well, as I said, Lily Taylor is Caroline Perrin. Ron Livingston as Roger Perrin.
Office Space.
I was expecting him to be the same character, but he is not the same character.
He was in The Flash.
Yes, as another dad.
And you know who I always confuse him with, like in my brain? You know what? I have to look up his name. Keep going, and then I'll circle back.
We got Shanley Caswell as Andrea, Haley McFarlane as Nancy, Joey King. She's a famous actor now.
She's famous Christine. Now, yeah. She was very small famous. Here. She was in Bullet Train and a bunch of bad Netflix movies.
There was one Hulu movie I liked called Run with Nicole Kidman. It was a great movie. I
What's
liked her
that
in that
other
one.
horror movie she's in that's really bad?
Uh, Joey King, Joey King. I don't remember.
Man, I have a lot of things to look up.
Mackenzie Foy as Cindy. Kyla Denver as April. Shannon Cook as Drew. John Brotherton as Brad. Sterling Jennings as Judy Warren. And I'll get to the last part here. Marin Giat as
Uh-oh.
Georgina. And there's
Joey,
more.
Joey
But,
King was in the Slender Man movie.
oh yeah, she was.
Oh, but the movie I was thinking of was Wish Upon.
Wish Upon.
Yeah.
Which one was that?
I can almost guarantee you saw it. It came out in 2017, so you would have seen it.
Wish Upon. I probably did. I just don't remember.
I think there's like a little wish box and she makes wishes, but then bad things happen. Whatever, doesn't matter.
But yeah, there's more to the cast, but I'll just stop right there. I do have a question for you, man. What do you think was the budget for this movie? 2013, first Conjuring movie.
Okay. The Conjuring. So James Wan obviously hit big with Saw, and Saw is relatively low budget, and then he did Insidious,
Mm-hmm.
and that was successful. So this came after that, but it doesn't really need a high budget, does it?
No,
They really mostly
maybe.
just do stuff in a house. There's not a lot of like crazy visual effects or anything like that. I'm gonna say 150 million
150 million for the budget.
for the budget.
Well, the final answer is 20 million.
Whoa!
That is crazy for this type
That's
of movie.
that's peanuts.
Yeah,
Because Insidious was like 100 million something
yeah.
for the budget. I thought. Oh no, that's the box office. I'm looking at that.
Oh,
Wow. Well, let me tell you,
20
horror
million.
movies nowadays would be like $100 million. 20 million.
Yes.
That's crazy. Insidious's budget was 1.5 million. That makes a lot more sense.
Uh,
Because thinking about Insidious, I was like, where did that money go? But no, 1.5 million makes a lot more sense. $20
What do you-
million dollars for Conjuring. That's not bad.
what about the box office?
Well, Kickstarted the whole universe, so that's
You did.
gotta be. That's probably like, all right. That I'll say 150 million. How about that?
Well, it's 319 million.
Wow, I wasn't even halfway there.
No wonder they have a franchise now.
Yeah, it makes sense.
But yeah,
I guess
yeah,
this one. So like, if Insidious made 100 million, and this made 3 times as much, because this one is a bit more accessible than Insidious, I think.
yeah.
It follows a lot of the same, like, story beats, kind of like. There's a haunted house. Family calls experts. Experts come and paranormal investigate. That's really what happens in both movies, both directed by James Wan.
True.
But this one, I don't know. Is it because the Warrens were real people?
Yeah, I mean, it is
That's
based on a
an
true story.
intriguing story.
I think it's that, and then maybe the trailer might help it a lot.
Maybe.
I know I was hooked into it when I saw the trailer.
I like this movie.
And also the name James Wan. It's like, oh,
Yeah, at that
he did
point,
other things.
he's like kind of an established horror name, and like none of the horror. So if we run through a quick like list of the James Wan horror movies, so obviously he kickstarted the Saw franchise. He did Dead Silence.
Yes, great movie. I love that movie.
Then the Insidious franchise. So that's all before Conjuring.
Yes,
So at that point, it's just like, all right, James Wan horror. We know what we're getting into.
absolutely. But yeah, let's get into your thoughts. Initial thoughts of the movie. What do you think of The Conjuring?
Good. So like I said, it's very similar story-wise to
Yes.
kind of what Insidious does. I would say this is better than Insidious.
Ooh. it is a big, rival between Insidious and Conjuring. Either a Conjuring boy or Insidious girl.
Is that true? There are people like doing TikTok wars over this.
I hope so.
You want to believe?
I want to believe.
All right.
But yeah, I do. I like both, but if I have to pick, I would have to pick Conjuring.
Yeah. I obviously, as we go through the weeks of October, we're going to be covering the entire universe, which isn't just the Conjuring movies. There's Annabelle and the Nun and some
Yeah.
other stuff we'll be getting to. But I would say the Conjuring movies are probably the best of them.
Yes.
Especially when we first start out here, but we'll get to that next episode.
Absolutely.
But yeah, this is a good one. It's got good vibes. It's got some pretty good visuals, some good horror gags. Hide and go clap, pretty good.
Yeah,
And it's got a good cast. I think casting Patrick Wilson and what's her name? Vera
Vera.
Farmiga.
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 Yeah.
She's really good.
She is good. I like her in a lot of stuff.
She's in a lot of horror. I know she's in that Bates Motel movie show.
Oh, she's the mom in that. Yeah.
Yeah.
With I Am a Surgeon.
I get confused with him and Eddie Redmayne. I thought it was the same person, but that's the same. I'm Surgeon guy's Charlie.
I'm pretty sure
Charlie Factory.
I'm pretty sure it's Freddie Highmore.
Oh, that's how you pronounce it?
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Yeah.
Oh, there we go. But yeah, to me, this is, if you want to point it out, this is the classic demonic slash ghost movie of the century. That's what I believe.
You think so?
I think so. At least like after the 2000s, this is the movie of, if you want to watch a demonic movie, or like the Exorcist movie. I feel like this is the new Exorcist movie.
That might be a stretch because Exorcist is very iconic.
Yes,
and it has been for decades. This obviously has staying power because not just it started this universe, but Conjuring movie specifically, like they're making the fourth one, so it's lasted. I guess I really never thought of the Conjuring in the terms of being as iconic as like the iconic 2010s horror franchise, but trying to think what else would really compare that wasn't just a straight up gimmick, because like I think the next biggest thing that you could say other than Insidious, I guess, would be Paranormal Activity, but that has only existed and thrived because of the gimmick, and also because they're very cheap to make.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think it's when it came to.
I don't think you can. I'm gonna just slam dunk Paranormal Activity for a second. I don't think Paranormal Activity movies are any fun to revisit. I rewatched the first one not too long ago, and I was like, "This is not what I remembered."
Oh, really?
I mean, certainly for what it is and what they were able to do with like no budget, it was very impressive. Like they marketed the shit out of it. Like that's all interesting and cool, but like, what would I rather watch? I would rather watch Conjuring.
Sure. I of course, you know me. I like to watch anything.
You got some crazy takes.
I know, but I like Paranormal Activity. I feel like it's because everyone is scared of something happening in their home. That's always scary.
Oh, I've opened up a can of worms, and now we're gonna watch Paranormal Activity next Halloween, aren't we?
We might. I think there's 5 of them, but yeah, we might. But yeah, I feel like the Conjuring at least set up the whole, not universe, but like the whole genre of like demon. The way how James Wan films it, I feel like everyone's copying that.
Maybe. What other demon movies are there? Like in 2024, Tarot just came out.
Oh god,
that was kind of a demon thing, right?
That was a demon movie, but probably one of the worst movies I've seen. No,
it wasn't good. I don't know. I think what what you're trying to express is that the James Wan style
Yeah.
uh, is like he brought it to a kind of classic horror idea, like haunted house horror and demon horror. Like it goes back to, I mean, before like The Haunting or
Yeah.
Poltergeist is what I'm thinking of. It's
Yes.
kind of like a James Wan version of Poltergeist.
Poltergeist with demons.
Yeah, which again also very similar to the story beats of Insidious and this, where something's happening, so they try to call experts, and then you get various
Yes.
different experts coming in and trying to deal with it. And how do they deal with it? Sometimes not well. In The Conjuring, I think they deal with it pretty well. Only
I
one
think
guy
so.
gets bitten on the face.
Oh yeah, that was a little gnarly.
Was this movie PG-13?
This movie was rated R. All the movies are
Yeah.
rated R.
Are you sure? I don't
I'm
think these are
positive.
all rated R. I don't think all these have to be rated R.
I agree, but let me double check. I
Some-
have the Blu-ray.
Sometimes, I don't know, when you become an adult,
Yeah.
and it stops mattering if something's rated R, and then you start to wonder, like, was that rated R? Was that PG-13? Because sometimes horror sneaks in PG-13 so the kids can go see it.
Yeah, true. But sometimes, PG-13 horror movies are not that great.
I know, that's why I was asking, like,
Yeah, all of them are rated R.
okay.
All of them.
It's like, not horror movies don't need gore to be good. It's just the problem when they try to force it to be PG-13. Sometimes things come across very sanitized, and it's just not that interesting to watch.
No.
So
I
as
can't
long
remember a
as-
good PG-13 horror movie.
Again, yeah, I don't remember ratings. Surely there's some.
I'm sure.
It's got to be a good one.
Well, before we get into the plot of The Conjuring, I got a message.
Oh no,
A really, really creepy message.
I did not know this was going to happen.
Well, as soon I announced that we are rewatching The Conjuring Universe on Instagram or Twitter or X, I got a strange message or a strange DM.
I cannot stress enough that I didn't know this was coming, and I'm nervous because I genuinely don't know what it could be.
Well, sir, I think you might be scared.
I'm scared now.
You might know her from.
What?
Well, I don't know if you know her. If you know her, then I'm getting away from you. But if you have knowledge of this person, she is from the third Conjuring movie. Let the Devil Do It, or that's what it's called, right?
No, the devil made me do it.
Let the Devil Made
Let
Me
the
Do
devil
It.
do it. I like that.
Let the devil do it. No, let the devil let me. What was it again?
The devil made me do it.
Devil Made Me Do It. Thank you. She is from that movie, and she gave us a strange message. So let me send you this video, and we'll watch at the same time.
I'm really scared. I'm really scared.
Okay, I'm posting it here on the Brammer Wonder podcast channel. Boom. Okay.
Okay,
You should see some fire there. So
I see fire. I don't see who's in the video.
yeah. I feel like I'm saying she ran up because I saw the video. So we'll see it. Like, I'll see it again, but you'll see it the first time.
Oh,
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
She I feel like she's coming from the straight of hell. So I don't know. Because this fire is give me the creepers jeepers. All right, here we go. When I say 0, we press play.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, 0.
Look at me, look at me.
Oh no.
Look at me, look at me. I hope you conjure up a spooky and terrifying Halloween. Love the occultist.
The occultist?
That was the occultist from the third movie.
Wow. Wow, bro. That was scary.
She gave us a warm message, I guess.
She kind of sounded like Tamatonga a little bit.
A little bit. He's like, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. So, thank you, the occultist from the third movie, for that warm message to start off this Conjuring Universe pod. So I appreciate you.
I didn't know or remember that her name was the occultist.
Yeah,
In
she's
that
the
movie.
one who blew that powder to Vera or someone, if you remember. But yeah.
I honestly, I kind of don't remember. But
Oh,
you know
no.
what? It'll be special now.
Yes. When you see her in the third movie, when we watch the third movie, you'd be like, oh, she
Should
was
I
about to stab
ask?
me.
Should I ask on air how much this cameo cost you? Do I
Well,
want to know?
I don't know what you're talking about. She sent me a message. So
Oh,
I don't,
you're right.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, so if the occultist broke into your house and stole money, how much money would she have stolen?
I want to say like $25 at least.
That could have been worse. at least she only took that.
Yeah, at least that. Well, thank you. Her name is Eugenie Bondurant. Thank you so much. Occultist
Yeah.
from Hell.
Thank you, occultist.
Thank you. I don't know if that's a good thing. The occultist?
She was in Werewolf by Night, the Marvel Disney special.
Yes, she was.
Wow, that's crazy. That's cool.
Thank-
Some people show up here, man. You got Power Rangers and scary demons and
Look, I
all
got
kinds of people.
I got people from space, from hell, everywhere.
Yeah, that's nuts. You gotta be
Only here
careful.
at the Number One podcast. Thank you. I know.
Like you know
I saw
how
that.
they say the Annabelle doll is like a conduit for demons. This
Oh, God.
podcast is a
God.
conduit for all these people to show up. That's insane. Unless they say no.
Yes.
Unless you try to pay them and they say no. They say I don't do podcasts. Then we're safe. But other than that, anyone could be here.
Yes, I agree. But yes, thank you, lady. You are terrifying, but very lovely. Thank you so much.
occultist. You are the official occultist of the Brown Boy Wonders podcast.
Oh, I don't like that, but okay.
He lives here now.
Okay, let's get into the plot here, guys. We're 20 minutes deep here. In 1968.
Oh, by the way, it was Kyle Chandler. That's who I confused Ron Livingston with.
Oh, what was he in?
He was in Peter Jackson's King Kong, and then he was in Godzilla King of the Monsters. He was the dad, remember?
Oh, Super 8, right?
Yes, Super 8. Yeah. That's,
I remember.
you are
He does look like
correct.
him. He does look like him, actually. Yeah, Ron Livingston and him. Yeah, they do look alike.
It's amazing how I'm like, I chose what I would have assumed was the most Abrar thing to remember, King Kong. And you're like, no, the Super 8 guy. I'm like, okay.
The original Stranger Things.
Yeah,
Um,
yes,
they took
but
it.
not the original E ET.
Oh, you're right. Damn it. There's always a better copy. You never know.
There's always a bigger fish.
Oh,
It's a
yes,
quote
well,
from it's a quote from your favorite movie, The Phantom Menace.
who said that?
Qui-Gon Jinn.
Oh, when he
Li-
was in the
Liam Neeson. They were in the little
Yeah.
thing with your
Yeah,
favorite
yeah.
character.
Yeah, Jar Jar Binks. I can't believe I mentioned Jar Jar Binks in the Conjuring podcast. I apologize to everyone. I won't say that again.
Maybe he'll show up.
Oh gosh, behind me?
Well, on the podcast.
Oh, right. I don't think he's alive, but is he dead?
Is Jar Jar Binks dead? I don't think so.
Good. Let's get into the plot here, guys. Come on. In 1968, demontologists Ed and Lorraine Warren investigate the Annabelle case, in which friends Debbie and Camila have a possessed doll. They allowed the spirit who claimed to be a 7-year-old girl named Annabelle Higgins to possess the doll, but the hauntings became more disturbing. The Warrens explained that the doll was never possessed, a demonic spirit whose goal was to possess one of the friends. What are your thoughts on this Annabelle doll?
So I actually have a couple of thoughts. Number one, so we've discussed that the Warrens, Ed and Lorraine Warren, were real people. They were real
Yes.
alleged demonologists, and they really did travel the country and help people allegedly solve hauntings and demon cases and stuff like that. And the Annabelle case was a real case. There really is
Yes.
an Annabelle doll. It does not look like this. It was a Raggedy Ann doll, if everyone knows what those look like.
Mm. Really big.
So it is interesting to think about that, how it's just like, you think about, well, Raggedy Ann's not that big. They're like the size of like a Tickle Me Elmo or something like that, you know?
True,
They're
true.
like a little stuffed, like plushy with
Yeah.
yarn for hair.
Molly Polly, that girl, that TV show.
Molly Polly. You mean Polly
Along
Pocket?
something like that, yeah.
I'm looking at Molly Polly.
Or like
Is it-
Polly Molly.
I don't know.
She has
nothing.
red hair. For those in
Uh,
the viewers listening, if you know Molly Polly, let me know.
I don't think that's a real thing.
Well, never mind.
Okay. Either way, so when it comes time to make this movie, they're like, "All right, let's use this Annabelle doll. It's a real spooky doll with a demon that follows it around. What's that? Oh, it was a Raggedy Ann. Well, that's not very scary. Or we can't get the rights to that, right? So they're like, well, let's just make a spooky doll. And then they made this. It is a doll designed to scare you. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
It becomes
It's
a little
like-
bit less scary in, say, the Annabelle movie when we learned that the doll doesn't actually do anything.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
But-
Not at all.
But yeah, I guess it is very. We mentioned Dead Silence earlier. It's very that, you know. James
Yeah.
Wan had experience making spooky dolls or puppets, so he just, they made this.
Yeah, I mean, this doll is very creepy. It looks ratchet. You got those big eyes, big
I
red
guess-
lips.
I guess she's iconic now in a sense in like the horror community. Like everyone
Oh,
knows
yeah.
who the Annabelle doll is.
Yeah, it's very popular. I don't know if it's after this movie or maybe the Annabelle movie. It became more popular over time.
She joins the lexicon of haunted dolls with Chucky
Chucky,
and Megan
Megan. Oh yes, Megan.
and
the
Slappy from
Goosebumps.
Goosebumps. Yes.
Slappy. That's his name, right? Slappy.
Yeah, his name's Slappy.
Okay. Yeah. I who would win fight, Annabelle or Slappy?
Probably Slappy because, as mentioned, Annabelle doesn't do anything.
That's true. Slappy
The demon does stuff. The demon will move her around or chase you up a stairway. But that's next episode's conversation.
Yes. Let's get into the incident that happened with this doll. Well, if you see this creepy ass doll in the hallway, and the room around her is destroyed, and the writings of "Miss Me" on the wall, I'm getting the F out of there.
Yeah, well, these college kids got off very easy, considering things that we'll see the Annabelle doll conjure later. Because the doll moved around and then it wrote something on the wall and then they threw it away, but it came back, and that's when they were like, "We're calling Ghostbusters. We're getting this out of here." And they called the right people because they got it and put it in a case and had a priest blessed it twice a month, and now we're fine. So it could have been a lot worse for these kids.
Honestly,
These kids whose mom just like bought the doll in a thrift shop. She saw this creepy. The doll did not look clean when she bought it. She saw this Annabelle doll and was like, "My daughter would love this."
Yeah. I mean, the thing that scared me in this scene is the loud banging on the door. It's just loud. I was wearing headphones, and I remember in the theater it was so loud.
That's that's one thing that kind of takes points away from James Wan for me. I love his style. But he does fall into the modern horror trap of jump scare. Silence, loud noise. Like that's not, to me, it's not scary, it is irritating. Because you made me jump. Of course you did. There was silence and there was a really loud noise.
It reminded me of the movie Strangers, where Liv Tyler was in the house and the girl was knocking so loudly on her door. It was just like that. But I feel like that scene worked than this, maybe.
I mean, it worked. I just, it's something in this period of time, something that we're just forced to deal with, where like, horror movies mean jump scares.
Yeah. Once that scene is over, we get a creepy title saying "The Conjuring," the creepy music. I am terrified. All horror movies should do that. I know Insidious did that. Conjuring and many others do that. Creepy music with the big title in red.
The Insidious title is a jump scare in itself because it's got like the intense like hyper like string music.
Yeah,
and it just comes in super loud. It's just like, okay. This one didn't quite do that. So
all right. 3 years later, in 1971, Roger and the mom, Caroline Perrin, move into a farmhouse in Harrisville, Rhode Island, with their 5 daughters: Andrea, Nancy, Christine, Cindy, and April, and their dog Sadie, who refuses to enter the house.
Oh yeah. Rest in peace, Sadie the dog.
Oh, we'll get into that.
You get horror movie dogged. The thing that happens to dogs in horror movies, it happens to you.
Yeah. But yeah, thoughts on this family? Is it lovely? It's like a fun family here.
Yeah. A lot of girls. I wouldn't want to raise that many girls, but
That's too many.
Yeah.
April. Yeah, go ahead.
I'll give this movie credit for something, because as mentioned, we're in like the late 60s, early 70s, 1971. So we're in the early 70s. I believe that it's the early 70s. It's the way people dress.
Yes.
The way, the car. Our next movie we're talking about is also a period piece before this even. And I genuinely didn't even remember that because nothing about the movie feels like it's set in the 60s.
Maybe her dress, the main actress's dress, it kind of reminds me of the 60s, but nothing, outside of that, it feels like it was in the early 2000s, maybe.
Yeah,
Terrible. Well, April, I think she's the smallest one here, found a doll music box outside of her house. She opens it up, and the music is unsettling. Yeah,
it's got the little spinning mirror in it. You like that?
No,
because you just know. You just know you're gonna see something in it.
Yeah, but they kind of tease it after a bit.
Oh yeah, they know.
Yeah, the girls play hide and seek with blindfold, or now we know hide and clap.
Yeah.
They use claps to determine where the hiders are.
It's a fun game. You put your sister in a blindfold, and then you go hide somewhere, and then your sister has to stumble around and hurt herself until she asks for a clue where you are. Then you have to clap. And then if your sister finds you, she kicks you in the face or something. or breaks a wall.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, as you mentioned, the family discovers a boarded up cellar in the house because someone broke through that.
Now, I watched this with my brother, as I watch most horror movies. And upon finding the boarded up stairs to the dank basement, he immediately said, well, I'm not going down there. Would you go down there?
No,
because the whole family was like, "Well, we gotta figure this out. We gotta go check this out."
Why you gotta discover things? I know it's your house.
I don't know. It's that homeowner thing. It's like, oh, more square footage, like Justin Long in Barbarian. That dumbass thought the entire underground tunnel system was his to sell.
He is the real monster in that movie.
Yeah.
um. Yeah. Well, paranormal events occur within a few nights. Every clock in the house stops at 3:07 a.m. Caroline, the mom, wakes up with new bruises each morning, and Sadie, the dog, found dead in the yard.
Yep. We all knew it was going to happen.
Yep. Well, let's get into these incidents here. Uh, oh, before we get into that, let's get into in Monroe, Connecticut. Ed shows a investigator, or I think a cop, in his demonic room. The cop is like, "Dude, are you scared that you have all of this?" Ed is like, "Don't worry, I get a priest every month to bless the room, of course."
Yeah, he says, I can almost guarantee there will never be a movie where all these things wake up and get out. Don't worry about it. Or if that does happen, the movie won't be called The Conjuring. It'll be
No.
called something else.
He said it's safer for these things to be in here and not out there. I guess we can agree to that.
Yeah, so this is another part of the story that is true. They really did have an entire collection of supposedly haunted artifacts.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if it was after Lorraine's passing in real life, because she died in like she saw the first couple of these movies come out. So she lived longer than Ed. She passed away in, let's see here.
I feel like it was recent.
That's not going to help me because I clicked the actress's Wikipedia. Ed and Lorraine Warren. Lorraine died in 2019. Yeah, fairly recently.
Pretty recent.
So Ed died in 2006. So I want to say maybe just before she passed away. All of the Warren state, all their stuff was bought by, do you know who?
Who?
The one and only Zach Baggins from Ghost Adventures.
Of course.
So all of the Warren artifacts were absorbed into Zach Baggins' Haunted Museum located in Las Vegas.
I don't like that.
I would like to go there one day. I really would. I'm not a super believer in the paranormal,
Sure.
But it's that thing where oh yeah, I don't believe in ghosts until there might be a ghost. You know what I mean? Just I don't think there's really ghosts, but if you say so, I'm not going to question it.
I'm not bringing a Ouija board to my house and do it. I'm not touching that.
I've done that.
Oh.
It's a white person rite of passage to fuck around with a Ouija board.
What? Anything happened?
No. So I didn't really fuck around with it too much. Me and a friend back in high school used it for a student film, so we were acting like we were using it.
Sure.
But yeah, I would like to go check out the Zach Baggins Haunted Museum and go see all the stuff that he paid millions of dollars for that might not be haunted, but it might. Like the Dybbuk box.
Yeah. Maybe we could reach out to him.
Reach out to Zach Baggins?
Yeah.
I don't think so. Oh, well, maybe if you tell him that the occultist is now haunting the podcast, he'll come check it out for his show.
I think he'll be ecstatic for that.
Yeah, probably.
Does
Zach Baggins have a cameo?
I don't know.
We'll have to find that out later.
The cop is like, dude, just throw it in the fire. Ed said, it's better to keep it. And the genie in the bottle. Was he referring to Christina Aguilera's song? Is he a fan?
Not in 1971, he's not.
No, I guess not.
Maybe she's a fan of him.
Oh.
Maybe that song is about the Annabelle doll or the Dybbuk box or stuff like that. Keep the genie in the bottle, baby.
I like that. The cop said, do you got that Annabelle here?
Y'all got any Annabelle?
He said, yeah, she's staring right at you, man. The cop was worried about Ed's wife, what happened to her. Ed says it was an exorcism and she wasn't possessed.
Right.
We don't know. We don't know what happened there.
She's got a backstory.
Yeah. Ed's daughter Judy was sneaking around there, and she was looking at the Annabelle doll. Later on,
That's some crazy foreshadowing.
yes,
It's like 6 movies from now. That's gonna pay off.
oh my god, it's sweet. It's very sweet. Later on, Lorraine kept telling Ed not to blame himself of what happened to her. What happened to her? We don't know. Not yet.
What happened? What happened?
Back to the farmhouse. Roger is hearing some noises around the house at night. The part where Roger, the dad, goes upstairs and his daughter Andrea was just standing there will always get to me, man.
She's smacking her head against the wardrobe.
No, not that part. The part where she was just standing on the stairs. Like he looked up and she was just standing there.
All right,
Yeah.
that spooked you.
Yeah, a little bit. Always. I don't know when it happens. It just happens. I'm like,
Yeah.
It just gets me.
Yeah. I get you.
As you mentioned, Andrea says Cindy is sleepwalking again. Roger checks checks on her, and you see Cindy hitting her head on the cabinet.
Yeah, there you go. Trying to get in.
Yeah. Well, is this normal for sleepwalk?
So if
Do you know anybody who does that?
I have never known anybody to sleepwalk. It does happen.
Mm.
And I don't know. I think at the point where the sleepwalker has potential to harm themselves, like say smack their head over and over into a hard object, it becomes more than just sleepwalking. It becomes something else, and they need to actually do something about it. At the very least, give her a helmet.
Yeah, a football helmet or something. I will say this: I did sleepwalk when I was little. I don't remember anything. I just remember that my mom said "Yeah, you're just sleepwalking around, not upstairs, but close to upstairs. But you never got up there. You just go back to sleep though, around 2 or 3 a.m."
If I had to guess, I would assume it's more common for kids, younger kids, to sleepwalk because their brains aren't fully developed, and so maybe they wake up but not all the way, and then that's just when they start walking around. I think most stories you hear about sleepwalking are children, but it does happen to adults.
That's scary. Adults?
You've seen Step Brothers.
Oh. Especially with the part where he's banging the stove and
yeah, they throw him down the stairs.
I need that was a great scene. But yeah, Roger puts Sydney back to bed. If I was Andrea, I should be concerned.
Man, all these kids have to share rooms with their siblings. That sucks.
I did it once. I did it when I was a kid.
But did your brother sleepwalk and slam his head into the wall?
No.
Did he sleepwalk and slam you into the wall?
Oh man, my dad slammed me to the wall. But that's a different story. I could have mentioned that on the pod. Now that's
you didn't
canon.
have to. I didn't make you.
I have to say it.
Your dad's gonna get arrested.
No. My dad's okay. I learned a good lesson. It's okay. Caroline, the mom. I have to say the mom because these are a lot of names here.
Yeah, I got you.
Found more bruises on her back, and Roger found a dead bird outside in the next morning.
Yeah, the birds flying into the windows. Classic horror.
Dude, have you been outside recently? I know it's that season, but I was at the Storm Bar Mall, and in the parking lot, there were so many birds on the cars. So many blackbirds.
Oh, not dead birds.
No, not dead birds. Just live birds.
I legitimately thought you were about to tell me, have you been outside recently? There's dead birds everywhere.
Oh, no,
I was going to say, bro, I have been outside. I have seen no dead birds. You might want to call Zach Baggins.
Yes. No, alive crows were on top of, I want to say 4 or 5 crows on each car. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that does happen in our area. About, there's a time period every year where just a bunch of birds around. And I would assume, knowing nothing about the actual like migrant habits of birds, I would assume it's just like, well, we are getting closer to winter, fall is approaching, so they're just kind of gathering, and then they're gonna all disappear soon.
Hope so. Well, as the kids go off to school, we see a scene where April is talking to someone in her room.
That's always fine.
Yes, the door is halfway open, so we don't know who she's talking to. The mom opens the door, and no one is there. The mom asks, "Who are you talking to?" April says, "Rory," and she said, "Who the hell is Rory?"
All these horrible ghost children always have, or demons always have silly names like that.
Yeah.
In Paranormal Activity, the demon's name is Toby.
Toby, yes.
My dog's name was Toby when those movies came out. I didn't like that.
Did you change the name?
No, I just stopped watching the movies.
April says you can see Rory through the doll music box mirror.
That's okay. If that's my kid, I'm not looking in that mirror. Also, I'm throwing that mirror away.
Yeah, hell no.
This is gone.
Well, as we always do, Mom agrees to do it anyways. After for a bit, the mom thought she saw something, but April said, "Boo."
Yeah, the kid's just being an asshole, little shithead kid. Like, haha, I tricked you and the audience. If I smack that child, it's the 70s. You'll get away with it.
The mom agrees to play again. Mom is doing all the red flags here. She agrees to play hide and clap with April.
Hide and clap.
Yeah. The mom is blindfolded, of course, and now she's trying to search for her. The first clap happens, and then we hear the second clap. The mom gets into the room where Cindy was banging her head last night on the cabinet. The mom says, "April." The cabinet doors opened by itself very slowly.
This is the gimmick I always remember about this movie. I guess the hide and clap bit, like both of them, because it pays off in a different scene later too. Pretty great. I like it quite a bit.
Yes. The mom said, "Oh, I know where you are. Give me the third clap." The two hands appear from the cabinet and clap twice. Clap, clap. The mom is now heading towards the cabinet. She hears running from the hallway and was like, "What the hell?" She took off her blindfold and April steps in and said, "Haha, you lose."
You started telling it like a campfire story. I got a little creeped out. That was
really
cool. Yeah.
Hey man, this is the spooky rewatch.
Yeah.
Gotta do it.
Everyone better be listening to this podcast with the lights turned off.
Yes, please. Everyone turn off if you're in the car listening to this, turn off your car. No, turn off your headlights at least.
You know what? Yeah. Jesus Christ. If you're in the car listening to this, pull off to the side of the road, get out of your car, and go walk into the woods.
Yes.
And listen to this in the woods.
Oh my goodness. I mean, I'm getting scared. But yeah, April is being a kid, of course. But those two hands, man, what the hell is going on?
Yeah. You just wanted to play.
Yeah, she wanted to play. I love that scene. Now it's nighttime. Roger gets a call that he has to go somewhere for his job. All right. Now this next scene is probably I just said that was my favorite, but I think this is my favorite part of the movie. Caroline, the mom, and Christine both encountered a evil spirit. So let's get into Christine's experience. She was trying to sleep, but gets her foot dragged.
Yeah.
And thinks her sister was doing it. And until a big drag happened, and she was like, "Oh my goodness!" So she woke up. She checks under the bed, but nothing is.
See, this is what it goes to. So, I expressed my annoyance at modern horror movie jump scares. It's like, all right, that's irritating. But what this movie does, for better or worse, like you could, depending on how much you like it or not, they know that you hate jump scares.
Yeah.
And they know that it's gonna get you. And they know that you know. So they're playing with it. And they're like, She's gonna look under the bed. What's she gonna see? Any jump scare? Like that's become a thing in horror movies as well. It's just like
Yes.
like everyone knows the jump scare's coming, but it's the movie's job to like try to catch you to
Off guard.
off guard. Exactly. So
Yeah, that's how they do it.
the
They
long
linger it on.
drawn out. She like bends over, like looks under the bed. We get the camera shot, and then she like comes back up, looks in a different spot, and you're just like, just get it over with. Goddamn movie, just get it over with.
Well, as you mentioned, she checks under the bed, but nothing is there. Then she checks again, and the camera pans down underneath the bed. She heard a creak by the door. Now she's just looking at the door as it creaks.
This part's pretty great.
Yes, Christine believes that there's something behind the door.
She says, there's someone there.
Yes, her sister says. Oh, her sister Nancy wakes up, by the way, and is like, "Dude, what are you doing, bro?" Christine says, "Do you see that?"
Yeah.
She's like, "See what?"
And she's like on the verge of tears.
Yeah.
It's exactly like how people describe sleep paralysis demons.
Yes, exactly.
You know, like you hit sleep paralysis, your mind starts conjuring up images. Ooh.
Oh my goodness.
And then you think there's something there staring at you, and you're terrified and you can't move. And that's how this scene kind of plays out. She's like telling her sister like there's something behind the door, and she's like crying, and then the sister gets up to check on it, and then she's like, there's nothing here. And then she says, it's standing right behind you. She can still see it. That's a pretty great
It's good.
pretty great moment. It really plays on I guess childhood fear a little bit. Just what would you do? What would you do?
I don't know, man. I'm glad I think if I had someone in the same room, I think it'd be fine. But if I'm by myself, no, I don't think I could do that.
Okay, but what if you're in the room with somebody, but you're the one that checks the door and you don't see anything, and then your sibling says it's standing right behind you?
Yeah, that's more scary.
Yeah, that's not okay.
No.
That's messed up.
Yeah.
Also, we left out a key detail. Earlier, it's been mentioned that like parts of the house really smells bad.
Yes, I forgot to say that. Yes.
And it we learned that it's the smell of like rotting, decaying flesh. It's just like permeating the house wherever like the demon is messing around.
Yeah.
But the way it's set up is earlier these two girls are in the room trying to sleep, and one of the sisters gets mad at Joey King because she thinks she's just cutting hot farts. She says, "Stop farting." Like, dude, how bad do you think your sister's farts are? That's decaying flesh.
Sometimes it can be like that.
That's pretty bad. Oh, what were they eating? That 1970s Taco Bell?
Oh, old bean burrito.
Oh, 50-year-old bean burrito.
But yeah, as you said, it's standing right behind you, Cindy. Cindy looks back, and then all of a sudden the door closes. Kabam! And everyone starts to scream. The parents came to rush in. The sisters are terrified. Christine was telling her dad that it wants my family dead. All the sisters came by and are scared shitless.
Mm-hmm. And so are you.
Yes. Back to the Warrens here. They are headed to another case of paranormal. Ed is still concerned that for his wife, because that incident that happened, we still don't know what really happened, of course. When they went to the paranormal case, or the couple, they were like, this place is not haunted. You just have some bad pipes.
I like that. I like that quite a bit, because we know that the hauntings are real, and we're seeing a family deal with real shit, but also it gets across, like, 9 out of 10 calls the Warrens get. They're like, nope, it's just the pipes. No, you have rats.
Yeah.
It's their job to be like, don't worry, there's no ghost here. And then these Midwesterners are like, oh, shucks, I really thought.
Yeah, that's what makes the movie like real. Like, yeah, this happens all the time for them.
Yeah. And it shows that the Warrens are committed enough to finding the real things that they go and visit all the things that aren't real too.
Yes.
So that's fun.
Back to the farm family, the Perrin family, of course. We see the mom checking her bruises, and she's taking some pills. Now let's get into the mom's experience here. She was folding clothes and hears a girl laughing from the hallway at night. I don't like that.
That's never good.
No. She hears two claps and she was like, dude, it's past your bedtime. She checks on them, and all of a sudden, all the photo frames crash down on the stairs.
Oof.
Very loud.
I would be mad if Ron Livingston was my husband. I'd be like, you put those up wrong.
Oh, that could be it. Yeah, the mom was like, "Oh, holy crap!" She goes upstairs or she opens all the lights, and she heard some claps in the hallway. She goes there, but the door cellar opened. Here, she checks down the cellar, but then said, "Whoever's down there, I'm gonna lock you up." As soon as
That's terrible.
yeah, that's illegal. But as soon as she's about to leave the cellar, the door slammed her face and she fell down the cellar.
Oof.
God damn. She checks around the room in panic, and all of a sudden, a ball bounces to her, and she was like, "Fuck!"
No.
No. The light bulb explodes, and she gets upstairs. She's pleading for help. She lit up a match and tries to look downstairs. Someone, I don't know if you had headphones on, someone said, "Hey, you want to play hide and clap?"
Yeah.
Dude, because I didn't hear that when I first saw the movie. When heard that in the headphones, I'm like, "Ooh!" But I heard it on my right ear.
You like it wasn't in the movie.
Yeah.
What if right now I was like, bro, that didn't happen. That wasn't in the movie. I didn't hear it.
I'm gonna jump out my window. That's it. All of a sudden, two hands appeared, clapped twice.
That's great.
Man, I think that's the seller for this movie. It was just that scene.
Yeah, I think that's the most memorable thing in the whole movie is the hands coming out clapping.
I remember in the theater, everyone screamed all at once. I saw this movie. Okay, I think I saw it around 11 p.m. So it was very late. I remember there was before reserved seats, so you had to be in line. It was a long line, and my seats were up close. Those back front seats, and I remember a guy was vaping on on the side. I remember that. I don't know why.
Vaping in 2013?
Yeah, he was vaping.
What the
11
hell?
p.m. He was
Ahead of the
vaping.
curve.
Yeah. Oh, Joker. But yeah, that scene happened. Everyone like threw the popcorn up in the air.
The guy threw his vape.
Yeah, he threw his vape. As that was happening, Andrea wakes up and sees Sydney again, hitting her head on the cabinet. She took her to bed, tucks her in. The cabinet door opens and closed real quick multiple times. Andrea checks the cabinet. Sydney sits up like the Undertaker or like Michael Myers. Dome. Andrea opens up the cabinet and nothing is there. Sydney looks up and is terrified. And the camera and Andrea looks up and it's a damn demon. The demon jumps on Andrea. Yeah. Dude, I literally shit my pants when that scene happened. Literally. Or figuratively. No. I figuratively shit my pants when that happened. The way it was shot, it was quick.
Yeah.
And you didn't even notice that person was there the entire time. Great scene.
Yeah.
Roger runs in and opens the door for his wife and tries to help Andrea. Everyone is panicking.
Yeah, we're dealing with some shit here. It's time to call somebody.
Please.
Yeah, we are dealing with shit literally because you just shit your pants.
Yes. Back to the Warrens. They showed a presentation to their students about their case. Very chilling case. Is like it was not meant for kids, but of course for students. Ed lectures about the 3 stages of demonic activity: infestation, oppression, and obsession. That rhymes.
Oh yes.
Yeah, he should make a rap album. The Warrens.
The Ed Warren rap single.
Oh, I would listen to that.
I bet you would.
I'll put it on my my MySpace profile.
Okay.
Caroline, the mom, was in the classroom and she reached out to the Warrens, who conducted an initial investigation during the in which Lorraine, a clairvoyant, what do you call her? A clairvoyant. Where she can see.
Yes, she does have certain paranormal connections, clairvoyancy type thing going on.
Yeah, she sees like dark entities. She does that, but she sees something attached to the family. So she went to the family. They were talking, and she's feeling them. Like, yeah, this is not good.
I like that part when they meet the family and she's like smiling and she's like, "Oh, you have a beautiful family."
Yeah.
And they're walking around, looking at the house, it's very calm. And then at the end, they're like, "Did you see anything?" And she's like, "Oh, I've been seeing shit this whole time."
Yeah, she
like,
sees
"Whoa, no!"
she sees like some figures behind each member of the family. Oh my goodness. Lorraine talks to April, the smallest kid, of course, and she wants to talk to Rory through the box. She turns up the music and looks at the mirror. She sees a little dead kid behind her, but of course, when she looks back, no one was there.
Oh, Rory.
You know that music sound? I'm gonna
Yeah.
play that as an outro. The whole thing.
Can you find that?
I found
The
it.
whole thing. We're gonna get copyright strike. Are we gonna get taken down?
I don't think it's copyrighted, right? It's
if
no
it's
one owns that.
copyrighted, it's copyrighted by Warner Brothers. Surely.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, you got to think about it.
Well, I'll do something.
You
Maybe
can
I'll remix it.
Risk it on an episode for one of the movies we didn't like and we don't care about. So, and then if it doesn't get taken down, then you can put it on the rest.
Maybe. Lorraine goes outside by the lake next to the tree. She feels the entity. Ed walks by and says, "What's going on?" Lorraine looks at Ed and sees someone hanged. Yes, very
clueless Ed. He's like, "What's going on?
What's going on?" She sees someone hanged behind Ed. Guys, it's time to do this exorcism on the house, as Ed says.
We need to figure this out.
Please. Back to the Warrens' house, Ed reveals that something was off with the interview recording with Caroline, the mom. She wasn't speaking the entire recording. Lorraine research reveals that the house once belonged to an accused witch, a Satanist named Bathsheba. Bathsheba. I don't want to say that word at all.
Don't say it 3 times or it'll summon her.
Oh, goosebumps.
Or 5 times? Like Candyman?
Oh, yes. I think he says
it's either Beetlejuice rules or Candyman rules.
Oh, they gotta make it up their minds.
But for those of you counting at home, I have now said Candyman 3 times.
Don't stop doing it.
I'm not saying it.
I won't say her first name, but I'll say the last name. The name is Sherman. We'll call her Sherman. A relative married town Etsy, so she's from there, who sacrificed her week-old baby to the devil and killed herself in 1863 at 3:07 in the morning after cursing all who was on her land. 3:07. Remember, the clock stops at 3:07.
That's right.
There have been numerous reports of murders and suicides through the years in the house that when it was built. All of a sudden, the tape starts to play. When it's time for the mom to talk, a demon voice starts to talk, or at least wheezing. I think he has asthma or something.
Mm-hmm.
Well, to gather evidence, they place cameras and bells around the house with the help of their assistant, Drew Thomas, and the police officer, Brad Hamilton.
Oh, Brad.
Yeah, I love Brad here. I think he was a comic relief, at least.
Worth mentioning for the actress that played Bathsheba.
No.
So she's in a lot of James Wan stuff, I guess. She was also a demon in Insidious.
Yeah.
It says lipstick face demon.
Lipstick.
She's shows up in Annabelle, the future Annabelle movies, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Like motion capture demon, maybe, I guess. I'm not entirely sure. But she her name is oh wait, no, excuse me. I was saying she because Bathsheba is a
Right.
woman, right? No, it's a guy. His name's Joseph. Excuse
Joseph.
me. So yeah, he does. He's been in a lot of James Bond. He's a film composer, and he's composed a bunch of James Wan stuff. From the looks of it, Conjuring, Insidious, even a track in the Aquaman soundtrack.
Yes.
Oh, and Tarot.
Ed.
Good for him.
Yeah, shout out. Ed sets up a camera outside where the witch committed suicide. When the temperature drops, it takes a picture. Good. Some good equipment here.
Did they not literally use the same thing in Insidious? They did, right?
I think they did.
Yeah.
The first one?
I think so. They set up all those cameras, and then various like flash bulbs are going off in all the rooms.
Yes. It's kind of the same.
It's the same movie.
He made
What
the same
hell?
movie. He made the same franchise.
Yeah, and they both worked. They were both successful.
And guess what? They both have Patrick Wilson.
Yes, this guy. Someone needs to stop him. Stop James Wan.
It's okay, but he made Aquaman. He's also in that too.
Yeah, he did.
Everything is set up, and now they're waiting for something to happen in the house. They heard something in the cellar, and it's time to record. The Warrens headed there, and they hear nothing for a bit until Lorraine feels something.
Uh-oh.
They headed back up and heard something again. They got upstairs, but then the cellar door just closed by itself. Then the next morning, everyone is having breakfast. Lorraine is doing laundry. So far, so good until she feels something. The weather starts to change. She tries to grab the sheet, but the sheet covered something that was not supposed to be there, and it hits the window. And as the sheet goes away, we see the demon looking at Lorraine as she walks slowly away.
Pretty good.
That was good. Good scene. The demon, Sherman, or Bathsheba, completely possesses Caroline. Uh-oh. The mom struggles it off when she confronted with Lorraine. She's like, nothing happened. But literally, she was on her face and like giving her some spells. Ed explains to Roger that the dad didn't want you guys didn't want the Lorraine's help or the Warren's help because he said whatever Lorraine sees, feels, touches, it helps people, but it takes a toll on her. He talked about the case that they discussed in the classroom, and Lorraine saw something big in that case.
Yeah.
I feel bad for her, man. She's been going through a lot.
Oh yeah, and it's not going to stop here.
Uh-oh.
I just made a discovery also. Earlier I mentioned that Joseph Bashara, who plays the Bathsheba demon in this.
Yeah.
I said, "Oh, I guess he was in Insidious and he played some demon." It says lipstick face demon. That's the main red demon. That's the guy.
Oh,
That's the guy, the red face demon. That's insane. Why would he was called the lipstick face demon?
no, man, that's Darth Maul.
That can't be. Yeah, that's what I've always called him.
Lipstick. Why lipstick?
That's what it says here on Wikipedia. That cannot be right. I'm gonna look for a different. You know what? No, I'm not. We're not talking about Insidious. I don't care. We're talking about The Conjuring.
Well, later that night, Brad, the cop, needs a cup of Joe, but saw something weird outside. He goes out.
He's not ready for the shit he's about to see.
Oh no, hell no. He goes out and comes back in, but then he sees a dead maid looking at him, and she said, "Look what you made me do." She shows her wrist being cut and leaves. Brad tries to follow her, but then she came out of nowhere and says, "Look what you made me do."
Oh no.
That is holy crap. As they check on Brad, it looks like Sydney just walks by in front of the door. I guess she's sleepwalking again, or someone's with her. She locks herself in the room. The assistant hears another voice, and they open the door, but she's not there. The room is very cold, by the way. Very cold. We can see their mouth.
The breath.
Their breath, excuse me.
Yeah.
They use a UV light for the room. Ed checks the floors and the cabinet, and there's a lot of handprints on the back of the cabinet. Ed opens, goodness, so many. Ed opens the back of the cabinet, and there's a hole on the wall. Inside the wall, we found Sydney sleeping. As they bring back Sydney, April told Lorraine, "That's where Rory goes when he's afraid."
Well, that's probably fine.
Girl, I need this girl to stop.
Yeah. Get this kid out of here. Can I get a less haunted kid, please?
Please. Lorraine goes inside the wall, and she found a noose, but falls into the cellar. Big drop. Bam. In the cellar, Lorraine uses the music box that she carried on and tries to look at the mirror in the dark. If she could see something... Oh, sorry. If she could see something, of course, because she didn't see anything last time, or maybe that dead kid. But she hears a woman crying. She sees a big woman holding the dead maid, saying, "She made me do it."
Uh-oh.
The shot of that woman looking at Lorraine gives me chills.
Oh. This movie's hurting you.
Yeah, it's like I can't do this anymore. Because I watch of course all these rewatches at night. Like I can't do this.
Yeah.
Well,
So was it scarier to see it in your home at night or to see it in the theater?
I think the theater is fine, but at home it's just the visuals for me. I just can't do it.
Because I think it's scarier, and then I suppose in a sense better to watch horror movies in a theater. Because like you said, when the whole crowd gets scared and screams in parts, but then you're in an unfamiliar location. Like at home, you can you're comfortable. You can cover up. You can hide in a blanket if you want to. Doesn't matter if you're almost 30. You can hide in a blanket.
Sure.
But yeah, at the theater, you're there. If you jump, other people are gonna see you jump, and we're all jumping together. And also, it's louder. You got the theater surround sound.
You don't want me to be with you while watching a scary movie. You will see me flinching the entire time.
Well, we'll unveil the curtain here. We saw Longlegs together.
Oh yes, yeah.
Now Longlegs doesn't have jump scares.
No,
but it's got long, drawn out, tense moments.
Yes.
And I said, because we met up in the lobby, you're like, "Oh, you gonna get a popcorn or anything?" And I'm like, "No, because if I get scared, I'm gonna throw it everywhere." I'm not doing that.
We should have done it. It could have been great comedy, but
great comedy in the middle of Longlegs.
But yeah, the woman is looking at Lorraine, Then all of a sudden, she popped in front of her face and said, "She made me do it." Oh
Uh-oh.
my god. She then disappears, and Lorraine sees a dead body hanging out of nowhere. The hanged body turned to look towards Lorraine and tries to follow her. Lorraine is panicking the f out. The spirit of the woman whom I guess the Sheba lady had possessed long ago and forced to kill the child, realizing she will force Caroline to do the same.
Yeah. She was a witch, and she would in this pattern of possessing the mother to kill the child.
Yeah.
And the new, what was her name? Caroline?
Caroline.
Carolyn. Whatever. Yeah, Caroline. She's the newest in the line of the mothers being possessed.
That's not good. When they're all discussing with each other about it, the demon grabs Nancy's hair and threw her through the window. By God.
Damn.
She's being dragged, but Lorraine cuts her hair. Oh goodness.
That was quick thinking to cut the hair.
She's a dermatologist. She should know.
She knows what to do.
Yeah. The Warren concluded that they have a lot of evidence to receive authority from the Catholic Church to perform an exorcism. But our dude, Father Gordon, Commissioner Gordon, explains that approval would have to come directly from the Vatican.
Yep, that's true. That's real.
Yeah, because the Perrin family are not members of the church. By the way, Lorraine is still hearing the voices by the river. She sees her own daughter Judy in the river. But then she panicked and tried to call home, but Judy is fine. She says all good.
For now.
Yes.
By the time we go back to the Judy stuff, I think that's where the movie, I don't want to say starts to fall apart. For me.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it's a little too much.
Sure. Oh yeah, that part. Okay,
yeah.
I know what you mean.
We'll get to it in a second though.
Gotcha. The Warren's daughter, Judy, is attacked, as we just mentioned, Bathsheba, as a warning to the Warrens later that night. Thoughts on the scene?
Yeah, so when Judy Warren is attacked, and then Annabelle stuff starts happening again.
Yeah.
I feel like it was, I don't know, unnecessary. I don't know, because Judy's not really a character in this.
Not yet.
Like she serves as, like, I guess, a tie to the real world for the Warrens. They have something to go back to.
Yeah.
And so I guess the thought process was, if stuff started happening there too, then the Warrens also have something to lose. Because I guess as it stands, should we assume that the Warrens don't care about the family they're helping? It's like, oh, if we fail, then this family's just ruined, whatever. We'll go home to our daughter, who's fine. So, but if Judy's in danger too, then it's like, oh, we all have stakes. But first of all, I never was under the assumption that the Warrens didn't care. I assumed that they were helping people get rid of demons because they're religious, but also they want to help people and they know how to help people, so that's why they're doing it. And then it's just like because Annabelle gets out again, right?
Yeah, she did.
It's just like, well, we're dealing with a demon. Annabelle didn't need to get out. We knew Annabelle was there. I don't know if that was like when they started making the movie, they were like, oh, this Annabelle doll's really cool, and then they were like, well, maybe if Annabelle does something extra, we can make another movie, which they do. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I just think when stuff starts getting loose back at the Warrens' house, I think, like, I don't care about this. That's a little too much. I want to wrap up the story with the family.
Gotcha. No, I know what you mean. I think they just want to add another scary part.
I guess so. So another, like, they just thought they could use the Annabelle doll more than they had already.
Yeah.
Because I guess you don't want to be like, you don't want to have people saying, like, that Annabelle doll was scary, but it didn't do anything. No, that's for the next movie.
But yeah, the scene we're talking about is where Judy sees a demon combing Annabelle's hair, and we see Annabelle turning her head. She said, "Bitch."
The rocking chair bit was cool.
Yeah,
I will give it that.
that was a good scene.
Yeah.
I like that. But of course, Ed and Lorraine come save Judy. The Perron family.
Where do they live?
I guess not that
Are the
far.
Warrens local to where? That's convenient.
Yeah, it is. That's what it looks like.
Because, like, I assume, because it's established the Warrens travel around and deal with stuff. So I
Mhm.
guess I just kind of had the thought in my head, like, oh, they get the call. We're the country's, presumably, the country's biggest demonologists, and we know how to do stuff. So, like, you can get the call from anywhere in the country, and we will come to you. But then, yeah, they just kind of, like, went home for this part. That's another part where I'm like, oh, they live down the street? What's going on?
I guess so. Well, the family takes refuge at a motel, but Caroline, possessed, takes Christine and April back to the house to kill them. We're running out of time here. Ed, Lorraine, and Brad ties Caroline to a chair, and Ed attempts the exorcism himself.
Yeah. He just says, screw it, I'll do it.
Yeah.
I don't have time to wait for the church. The church will forgive me.
Caroline escapes and attempts to kill April. Lorraine is able to call by her. Lorraine is about to call to her by reminding her that of her family memory because they discuss when Lorraine and Caroline were discussing about that family picture. So she's trying to remember. Trying to let her remember that. Like, I remember the beach you guys had. You guys had fun.
Yeah.
Allowing Ed to complete the exorcism and condemns Bathsheba back to hell.
That's what he says.
Yeah. When she started to float upside down, I thought it was over. I thought she was gonna kill everyone.
Oh, I thought it was over when she started, like, bleeding. It was like, that's not good.
That is very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But yeah, they got her. She's good now. You see the face through the sheet, the demon's face, a little creepy there. But yeah, she's all good now.
We fixed it.
Fixed it.
That's an anticlimactic way to describe it. I guess it felt like a good payoff in the movie.
Yeah, I do think when you watch it, it's not much. But when you say it, it's like, yeah, that's it.
Big old dramatic Hollywood exorcism.
Absolutely. I would say this is better than the new Exorcism movie.
Yeah, I didn't even bother with that one. I didn't see that.
Do not watch. I mean, you watch it and let me know how bad it is.
No, don't tell me. Oh, it's terrible. Go watch it. No, I'm not going to do that.
I've
got other bad movies to watch.
When the exorcism is over, returning home, Ed adds the haunted music box from the family to their room of cursed artifacts.
He adds it to the museum. I love that, and it's something they keep doing through all the movies. Like, there's always a thing, and it always gets put in the room.
Yeah, it's like me because I'm starting to collect my podcast rewatch shows or movies. Yep. So I'm doing that. So I'm Ed.
Yeah. You got as something about being a collector, seeing other people collect things, even if they're scary and haunted. It's fun.
It is. And they showed movie. Yeah, that's the movie. They show in the ending the credits. They show the real people do the pictures, and sometimes I feel like that credit scene is more scary than the movie.
Because,
you know what I mean?
Because it implies that everything we just saw was real.
Yeah.
So, yes, but it wasn't this crazy, you know.
Yeah.
Like, probably, I don't know the case on this family, or if there was a case on this specific family, or a family like it, but there was no lady that was hanging upside down, flying around. But
no.
The Warrens did go to somebody and be like, we'll do an exorcism. That did happen. So yes.
I do have two interesting facts for this movie. The first fact is the real Lorraine Warren was seen in the classroom where Ed was explaining the 3 stages of demonic activity. She was front row.
That's right. Yeah, she credited as woman in audience.
Yes. And the second interesting fact I have here is I have a YouTube video where Vera Farminga explains what happened to her. A strange thing happened to her on set. So let me send you that link and we'll watch it together.
Oh, that's scary.
It is very scary. I'll post it here.
What we got going on here?
Okay, and let me know when you're ready. We'll
I'm
press play.
ready. All right.
When you're ready, ready? Okay,
I'm
in
ready.
3, 2, 1, 0.
The first time, when he ended, beginning and ended with the same kind of weird signal that came my way. I was probably in the notes because I've been asked enough about it. That after my first creative conversation, I had done hours of research watching her in interviews throughout the decades. And then James and I had to kind of make the decision whether I was going to take the role. And so James and I had a creative conversation. At the end of it, we kind of, I said, if Patrick's in, I'm in. And I opened my computer and there was these claw marks across the
Excuse me?
last day after we got back, flew home from North Carolina where we filmed, and the next morning I woke up in my own bed. And, let me show you.
Is she describing a dream or did this happen?
This happened.
And the
Claw
same
marks.
Claw marks appeared on my thigh.
On her thigh.
Oh, wow.
You have to quote. You have to.
She have a cat?
I was cool with it. I did my own holy water. You know what I mean? I really do. I felt
Yes.
fortified by my own
Yes, faith.
faith.
Look at Lorraine.
And
She's like,
my
it's
prayers were enough to kind of just dissipate whatever that thing that was trying to
Yeah, scary.
scare me, you know? And
Intimidate you.
yeah.
And they do.
Yeah.
And they do. And they do. Definitely.
Yeah.
They do.
And I don't dwell on it, so I don't give it that power. I don't give it that, you know? I think I don't like...
Yeah, she got claw marks while filming this movie.
What the hell?
I
I don't even know what to say to that.
so it's very strange. And yeah, so yeah, it's crazy. Hopefully she's okay.
'Cause the real Lorraine Warren looked at that and was like, holy shit, that's real.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Need to get out of here.
Yes, Lorraine was sitting next to Vera, and she's like, "Oh no."
Well, that's terrifying.
Yeah. But yeah, that was Conjuring. The next movie we're gonna do, of course, the next lineup is Annabelle. So
Annabelle.
Stay tuned for that.
Boy, do I
And-
have some thoughts on that movie.
Oh, don't worry, man. We'll get into that real quick. But of course, Skyler, where can they find you, man?
In the mirror in a music box.
I wish you didn't say that. I knew you were gonna say that, but I wish you didn't.
Candyman.
Okay, good, Candyman.
That's the fourth time.
Oh, don't stop saying these things. Of course, you can follow this podcast on Apple, Spotify, YouTube Music, and I'm on Instagram, Brown Boy Wonder Podcast. And but yeah, this was the first movie. We'll get into it, and I guess our outro will say, because last time we said something for Saw.
I don't remember what we said for Saw, but for this time, for this episode, I'm gonna say hide and clap.
Hide and clap.